Hello and greetings, everyone. Happy Black Friday. Not Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving. Happy I Survived Turkey Day. I think that's the fair way to say it. I mean, I lived to cluck another year. And it's just good to see you all and to have a friend here to talk about the day after Thanksgiving. Please welcome MLP-Trinary.
Hello, folks. Once again, the turkey survived.
We all survive. We all consume, and then we sleep. Tryptophan. Tryptophan for all.
Yay.
Of course, my family keeps a comic strip called Kathy, where they talk about how the shopping enzyme is in pumpkin pie. That's how they get you. As conspiracy theories goes, that's pretty tame.
Well, I could say the same of Kathy. How long has that comic been running?
Honestly, I don't think it's running anymore. It's from a while back.
Oh.
That trimming has been taped to the inside of a cupboard door for at least 20 years.
Ah, so it might have been funny then. Okay.
Oh, it's still funny. Oh, you wound me, Trinary. Oh,
I'm talking about Kathy as a whole, the comic as a whole, not that particular one.
oh, come on. You don't. If you can't joke with Kathy, you can't joke with life.
There's better comic strips, in my humble opinion.
You're probably going to hit me with Ziggy, aren't you?
Wasn't thinking of Ziggy, though. Better that than Dilbert.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to say, who's Ziggy? And then I'd really feel old.
Missed opportunities.
No, there'll be plenty of opportunities to scar me. But let us give some shout-outs to see people who are here after the Thanksgivings. Like Gachapone37, Kitty the War Hero E2 Tank Engine 105. All one name. Brian Luna, Vilpecula Einfield, Commodore Steel, Cherry Fluff Belly Official, The Miner, Rocket Raider, Master Ghidorah 91. No, I'm sorry, it's not Ghidorah, it's Gojidora. 91. Oh, man, I get mixed up. I apologize. But let's see here. Rocket Raider, just seeing who else is there on the chat. I imagine a lot of folks are just taking it easy at home, enjoying the holiday. Enderpup, good to see you. And Katie, and let's see here. Pokemon Fire Eevee, M488 Thunderbird is go. Pokemon Fire Eevee, Elizabeth Snowbell. And Jasper Flair, Jacob Venturit, and Champ to Stay. Meanwhile, over on the Twitch side, we've got Blue Griffin Azora, Bambi Man, 120919996. I think I managed to get that right on the first try. Coda Kitten 333, who just beat Spider-Man on the PS4. Excellent choice in games. I love that game. It's one of the few where I actually delay the story mode to go do side missions. It's like, this is too much fun. Oh, and Hunter Rangers 123. It was your birthday last Sunday, and well, I understand that. I'm guessing with the Rangers in your title, it was a hard weekend with bad news. But happy birthday. I find this world is better defined by what is in it than what is lost, and so the world is a better place with you in it. Let's see here. And yes, Cherry Fluff Belly, I did see your drawing. Thank you very much for that. Oh, now I also have to apologize, folks. I am still getting over a cold. You may hear some coughing and or other unpleasantness. I'll just try to discard it, as I talk about mucus. I think that'll work.
And on my end, if you can hear me, I sometimes am a little hard to understand, bit of a speech impediment, so if someone needs something repeated, just let me know. I won't be annoyed. Well, not at the person asking, just, it happens.
Well, It's
And
all good.
also, silver drinking chicken noodle soup. Is that adjacent to cannibalism?
Well, if it's in liquid form, I'm not technically not eating my kin. What is it called when you drink? Campbellism?
A day ending with Y?
Yeah, that works. Anywho,
Okay. So, might as well do the traditional questions.
let's get on to those traditional questions.
So, no, I've not read the books about, codename Agents of Smile. I'm aware of their existence because I've been in the stream and heard the questions. As for Thomas and Friends, I do kind of have one story or two. I didn't really watch it myself, although for some reason, I don't know if this is a thing other people have, but sometimes
Oh, Trinary?
a scene that moved me.
Oh, sorry,
Hello?
I lost you there for a sec. You said some people, and then I lost you.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying I don't know if this is a me thing or. Oops. Let me see. Let's see if I can turn up my volume a bit since people are asking.
There we go. That was good.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're stronger
Better,
now.
folks?
Yee.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so I was saying, I do remember like 1 second of a scene from a Thomas Shining Time Station. I am unclear as to the distinction. Scene of, like, I think there was an episode where they left some gifts for someone in a locker, and the janitor took it thinking it was for him, and then they felt bad because they didn't want to tell him it wasn't for him. And that's my only Thomas memory. My younger brother did have some Thomas the Tank Engine toys, and they were very well made, very metal, very detailed. So that's kind of all I got on Thomas and Friends. Sorry.
But I love how you describe them as very metal. I mean, I'm trying to picture Thomas the Tank Engine as metal.
Well, they were like GoBots. They were very hefty. There was a lot of weight. There was clearly some metallic parts in them.
Oh yeah, die-cast metal. It's a lost art. But I just want to envision Thomas the Tank Engines as metal. Thomas the Tank Engine rode through the gates of hell. What a lovely thing, he thought. Ba-da-da.
It is hard to make trains cool. I mean, look at Astro Train. Poor guy.
I don't know. He had his moments.
He tried leading a train army once. How well did that work out for him?
It got derailed.
God damn it.
Hey, sorry, that was an easy one.
Aren't they all a little easy for you?
No. Sometimes I really gotta. It depends on the topic at hand.
Okay. So those were the traditional questions.
Oh, I always got these.
Yep. So, might as well fill them in on what we've been up to lately, I suppose, because I'm sure they're all waiting with bated breath.
Well, I'm curious to know because I had the pleasure of seeing you at Ciderfest, which was a wonderful time.
Indeedy.
But then I felt bad I didn't get to see you off after Ciderfest, where schedules didn't sync up well.
Yeah. I needed to catch an early-ish flight since Everfree reminded me of how bad an idea it is to, like, get a late flight that gets you in the evening and then go to work the next morning. Never again.
Never
Not
again.
doing that again. No.
Yes, my midnight arrivals in Denver. Turns out the Lyft drivers need to sleep too. Who knew?
Yeah, who would have guessed?
So, how did the trip home go? Whoop. I think I've lost you.
Okay, nope, sorry. Just was just checking the stream to see if I could actually hear me. I have it on mute because it's a little behind us, so I hear everything twice.
Oh yes, it's weird the time difference Like 3 full seconds.
A little bit. But Cider Fest was a lot of fun. I like it as a kind of a lower key kind of convention. It's not super huge or super busy. What do you think?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoy it. How to put it, when you're vending, you always hope that it's going to be active. It is a smaller population, but they did a great job, one, raising a bunch of money for charity. And despite a smaller attendance, they set a new record for the charity auction. So high praise to Keyframe and Full Papers for that. They led the charge, along with many guests, including the Riff Ponies.
Yep, Foley does great work with the charity auctions, him and Dusty, though Dusty wasn't here for this one. And Keyframe, people just have to eat or drink things and raise money, because that's how that works. Ponies have deep pockets and curious senses of humor.
Very, very real senses of humor. I mean, I'm sure Key knows her limits. She knows when to say no, but she can also eat a signed baguette. That's how it works.
Or drink, what was it, mustard? Something about?
No.
Mustard flavored?
I don't think that was at a different convention. I don't think it was mustard. It was
a weird flavor like that.
I'd have to ask her.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a fun convention, and it was kind of cool getting to host a panel again.
Yes.
And people actually showed up, so that made it, yay! It did its job of attracting people.
And illuminating people on the history of pins.
Yep.
Actually,
I'm sure they were all dying to know.
Come on, it's fun to learn where things originate and how did we get here? So, and that raises a question. You who have like 6 bulletin boards of pins, yeah?
4 double-sided, but
4 double-sided. Okay. Do you remember the first pin you ever bought?
If I had to guess, it would probably be something my parents likely got for me. I remember going someplace and we would just develop the habit of picking up a pin to show, oh, we visited the HMS Endeavour. Oh, we visited medieval times. Why that was noteworthy, I don't particularly remember. It was just a weird restaurant. But yeah, that just kind of became a thing we did. You go a place, you get a pin to commemorate that you were there, and I just grew to like things.
To just think you could also have been at medieval times when they were recording Cable Guy. I saw Jim Carrey recording Cable Guy, and I'm scared witless.
That would not be something to commemorate, no. And I think that was a little bit before that movie ever was made, anyway. Also just keeping an eye on the chat.
Well, Champ to Stay has a question for us.
Sure.
Do you have your...
Spider-Man one?
Actually, this one is, do you have a favorite build your own town game? Like Disney Magic Kingdom, Simpsons Tapped Out, the MLP game?
I'm kind of weak when it comes to gaming in terms of it's the one spot of quote-unquote geek culture that I'm not that into. I only play a very few computer games like Terraria or Stardew Valley. Mm-hmm. Which are more farming, mining kind of games as opposed to town building.
I, too, can't claim that I've... the closest I come to building a town is vectoring Ponyville, which, boy, that took a while.
You've built quite a few towns.
I've vectored a few towns, but can't say I've really built them. I'm trying to think if there's any... I remember Dark Cloud, which only had a small town building sub-game as you basically rescued towns that had been destroyed from the void. But can't say I've ever. I mean, I'm from the age where The Sims was just coming out, and everyone would build roller coasters that led nowhere just to watch the little pixelated people plummet to their doom. And
Hey, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I remember playing Oregon Trail on computers in elementary school, bud.
There we go.
You died of dysentery. Again? How many times can you possibly die of that? Apparently a lot.
All the time.
Games for kids. Yay. For kids, you know?
That's right, dysentery for all. But yeah, my generation's kind of messed up in that we got our kicks like having worms duel each other through tunnels and building fake roller coasters that led to fiery doom. College was weird.
I would imagine yours was. Yep.
But
let's see other questions. Well, the obvious one. People are wondering if we've seen the new Make Your Mark holiday special, which is for those which is apparently chapter 3 of Make Your Mark, which is kind of strange, but whatever.
I'm not sure I'm on board with this whole chapter thing. It's getting to feel like the Star Wars counting method. It's like the first, which is actually the 4th, but no, we're talking about the 6th, which is the 3rd. Yeah.
First base. But yeah, I did see it, and I quite liked it. But obviously, this is kind of a spoiler-free chat, since people don't always consume media the second it comes out, and there's been a lot that's come out lately.
Yes, I'm in a curious position. I think part of it is just this darn cold. I have a little bit of a mind haze, so I haven't really sat down and watched it. I've checked out portions and I'd be like, okay, hold on, maybe later. So I guess I'm gearing up towards it.
And of course, few questions of what else you've seen or haven't seen yet. Wakanda Forever or anything new.
Well,
there's been like a lot in the last few weeks.
Oh, hasn't there though? I did see Wakanda Forever. At least I tried to, because they gave us 3D glasses. Yes, I got the Dolby 3D experience, and I swear the underwater scenes were so dark thanks to the glasses. I wasn't really sure if anything was working.
Oh, I didn't realize it was meant to be 3D.
Honestly, I don't think it is. It just, it's an option. But I didn't feel it enhanced it terribly well. But when Namor is talking about, I brought the sun to my people, I was like, that's great. Can you turn it up some?
I'm kind of realizing why everyone always makes the comment that 3D is a stupid gimmick.
Well, Alucard did say it best.
Yeah, that's what I was exactly thinking of. And I can't quite argue with them.
Because I always love that introduction. That was a widescreen plasma TV. So, how can I help you? Just the.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
It might be one of the videos that got me really to watch your stuff. It was Friends Forever number 14, I want to say, with Babs and Rarity.
Oh, yeah.
They had a lot of abridged references, and I was like, Captain America, I got that reference. I've seen this thing. Yeah, I think that was the one that really got me hooked on your stuff. I was watching already, obviously, but I really liked that one.
Oh, dear. So that's what made you go down the rabbit hole.
Yes, potentially, I guess.
Uh-oh. The day that will live in infamy. Let's see here. A Cherry Fluff Belly wants to know, did we notice that it was Race's birthday during Cider Fest? And oh, yes. It was well known. Not because Race, mentioned it every opportunity. No, it's that fans were giving him all sorts of gifts during the Bronies React panel. I mean, he received many a fun gift. I did too. Common Rider fan gave me a Common Rider Cross Zeta sticker, which is now proudly featured on my laptop.
Very cool.
Well, if you know what Common Rider is, I would not fault anyone who doesn't know.
I know a little.
Actually,
mostly from you and somewhat Linkara.
There we go. What I find hilarious is that Common Rider, the producers, only recently learned they had an audience in America. They're rather startled by it. It's like, people are watching our show? Yeah, kind of have to rely on the old fan sub to get it done, but yeah.
I'd question that, except Disney only just seemed to have realized, wait, there's a big fan base for the Owl House? Huh, maybe we shouldn't have shortchanged its third season.
Huh?
So...
New director.
Yes, yeah. Oh, hello, Maddie.
Maddie! There's a Mad Munchkin in the chat? Yay!
Yep.
Oh, Rocket Raider. You remember the classic, you remember the Furbus days. Ectophase, activate. Of all the series to try and make kid-friendly, Kamen Rider Black, what RX was the what the U.S. called Masked Rider, and boy, that's a hard adaptation. There's murder, there's body horror, there's a villain who was like your best friend.
But enough about Comic-Con.
Yeah, there you go. But it's good to see you, Maddie.
Yep. Always good to see the Munchkin.
Who
got to meet her in person for, I was about to say the first time, but that technically isn't true. But I did run across her at the, I want to say last BronyCon. Yep. But, yeah. Yeah, it was great getting to see you at Ciderfest in person, Maddie.
And Maddie did a fantastic job. She filled up her commission slots, well, rather swiftly, I would say.
Yep. A lot of art.
And I believe that we shown sufficient support that she would be more than welcome at BabsCon.
Yay.
So we would like for that to happen. Of course, BabsCon is trying to hash things with the hotel. 2 years they weren't able to do anything because of, well, human malware. And now the call is going out.
Yeah, I saw that. Here's hoping they can pull that off.
Well,
You know.
I have faith, but we'll need to boost the signal. Talk about that
Yep.
in good time. But Maddie's laughing. She got overwhelmed, but hey, you stuck to it. You were a champ through the whole weekend. And it was good times. I'm very proud of what you accomplished. And let's see. Actually, Trinary, we mostly got to share a meal at the pub or the bar and the hotel. Did you find any other places to eat at the convention?
Mostly I either ordered in, ate stuff I kind of brought with me. I remember last year there was a Greek place in close vicinity that I could have gone to but didn't. They were short-staffed last year, so actually I don't know if they're actually still in existence.
They are. I passed by, but I didn't partake this time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, so yeah, I'm very opportunist when it comes to just food on trips. You know, if it's there, yeah, okay, I'll eat there. I don't have any, like, I don't turn up my nose and go, no, I'll try to find something better. It's like, it's food, 621 rule, get that done.
Well, I was lucky. Keyframe, my friends from Commentaries Magic, and I, one night we managed to find this really good German restaurant. Oh, but what? I'm trying to remember the name of the place. Pardon me one sec as I look this up because, well, this was really good food and really great ambiance. So I was thrilled to have discovered it. But now I'm trying to recall what it was, what it is. Here we go. Mater's. There we go. Mater's. Like, it's like tomato without the tuh. Odd that I'm quoting redneck humor while talking about a German restaurant, but believe me, it is one, an exceptionally elegant dining, but two, the waitress was she's a parent of a pony fan. So when she saw this little Princess Pip plushie, that I swear there were like several of those appearing around.
Yes. Yeah, I saw the person who was putting those around. You know, the most I contributed to that was commenting, oh, they're life-sized. And she was like, I should put signs of that with them. But, you know, Pip is small. It's the joke.
But yeah, we gave her one of those Pip plushies, and she was so grateful. Because she had a special, Pip, Pip, hooray! Though I had I never got to enact it, but I wondered about, like, the scene from The Godfather. You wake up one morning and you find a little Pip at the base of your bed. Ah! Ah! Oh, she's so tiny. Ah! But her head's still intact. I want to make that clear.
Well, between that and folks who create docky pillows, there's probably been a few people who've woken up with a horse head in bed with them.
Oh my.
And they probably were not screaming.
Also. Oh, come now, soundboard. Oh.
You overused it, now you broke it.
It's having a performance anxiety. Oh, wow. This is really out of it. Let's see here.
Thanks.
Well, it's just that one button. Wow, I've really overused this button.
Oh no, so terrible.
Well, gotta get new batteries for you, old girl. Now, going back, however, to the holiday, as far as I can tell, it's just going to be, this is one of those holiday cheer feel goods. You have it sort of in the background, but it's not going to blow my mind with character development or new ways to perceive the crew.
Yeah.
The biggest takeaway I had from Ciderfest is, wow, people really don't like Sparky.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. I wasn't really thinking about it too much, but yeah, I don't think too many folks are all about the Sparkaroni. I'm sure he has his fans, but not a super ton.
Not a super ton. I mean, I'd be curious. I tried to get some perspective because there's always the argument of the group mind, which can sometimes overwhelm an individual's tastes. But I know from like Keyframe, she doesn't like how you can tell it's an adult trying to talk like a baby, and therefore it sounds very artificial. And I know Dusty's not a big fan of Sparky. I don't think I don't think he's fully articulated why, but he does not like the Sparkaroni. Pokemon Fire Eevee says you like the idea, but just don't like the design. What is it about the design that you find most problematic? Also, a shout out to Strik Arioso, who made it out Thanksgiving without going under the carver. Well done. We live to cluck another day. Come on, the whole world's clucked. Why don't we just go with it?
I'm not dignifying that.
Hey. That implies there's dignity to be had. Yeah, did I just blow your mind?
No, I'm just trying to see if there's an exit hatch anywhere. Not quite seeing one.
No, there's an exit hatch, but it's powered by the same batteries as my soundboard. Speaking of, have you warmed up at all? Nope, it is. Yeah, it is. Toast. Hey.
Yep.
Amazing.
You've abused that button one time too many. And by one, I mean like 20.
Exactly. Let's see here. Synchrony, I don't... Oh, wait. I think you're asking about the magic displayed in the Tell Your Tale short rather than the holiday special. So, I know Izzy made quite... I thought that sequence was actually very beautiful, where she is illuminating the snow, but then gets a little too caught up in it. She overdoes it. It is quite strange, though, to envision unicorns can affect the weather, but they've forgotten how.
But that was also a thing in the, I forget the full name, the holiday special, 45-minute one, also had, a bit of that.
Well, I will see it in full, but probably when my head's a little clearer and I...
Oh, right, you hadn't seen it, sorry.
Yeah, not entirely, no. I do know... Here's the thing. I saw the Tell Your Tale of how they created the Mare stream. And then I got as far in the holiday special as, well, they made it again. And I just thought, why did you bother with the Tell Your Tale if you're just going to do it here as well? I mean, come on, people.
It was, there was some cross-media continuity, but it didn't line up 100%.
Not at all, and I gotta say, I remember .hack sign, the .hack franchise in general. It's always been sort of this amalgam of anime, manga, and video game, all trying to flesh out the same storyline. The video game, though, was central, and everything else was meant to be a supplement to that. This one, right now with G5, I feel like we're too dispersed in our focus. Like, where should I be putting my energy? Keeping track of Make Your Mark, or is Tell Your Tale filling in all the gaps and questions? It's just a lot.
It's the old issue with, like, say, Marvel's movies and its shows. They're all great, but after a certain point, it does feel like I really shouldn't have to see every single thing he produced to get the full measure of everything. And it's getting to be a bit much.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Or to get the whole story. Centralize, if you may.
Yep.
Enderpup says, if I watch it while sick, I'll see some wild things. I can believe it. It's amazing how you can feel a little trippy just from some NyQuil. NyQuil dreams. Ugh.
Yeah, I've had a few other experiences like those. A couple of times I've had dreams that were more interesting than the things actually meant to watch. Can't recall any of them, though.
Yeah, that's the frustrating thing. You have this really wild dream you wanna explain to someone, and then it's like trying to catch mist. It just slips away, and you're like, no, it's gone.
Yep.
Sad face.
Since folks were wondering earlier, why don't we explain why exactly are we in ruins? What you looking on now?
Why am I in ruins? Well, here's part of the thing. The frustrating thing about having a cold is that it kills your creativity, your drive. So I tried doing a little bit more work on Reviewer Zero, the mecha avatar, and I've been watching some tutorials on animating, but I just haven't had the get up and go. So I will never say that vectoring is easy, but it is doing a creative process that doesn't necessarily demand that I innovate as I go. So it's a bit more manageable in this state. I am doing this because I need some ruinous backgrounds for my oft-neglected Imani comic, where a flashback where Celestia is showing her friend the ruins of the Castle of the Two Sisters. And so, therefore, I need me some backgrounds.
That must be a fun discussion. Oh, and there's where my sister threw me through a pillar, and there's where I blasted her through a wall. Oh, and there's where we used to play hide and seek.
All culminating with a fun ride down one of those trapdoor slides. But yeah, Celestia and Luna had odd definitions of fun back in the day.
Celestia was always a bit of an odd duck.
Well, I like when the comics portrayed that she might have been a bit bratty with the sister complex. But, I mean, just to see how she changed and matured. But I wish that could be more canon to the story. So I've got the main hall all done there we go. I've got the main hall as both day and night. But I need a few more shots of like ruined thrones. This is where the elements... Also, this is just a great study in how far the show's design has changed, because these are the ruins in later seasons, but up here, I have the ruins from the first episode. Well, first two-parter. And it is amazing how much the designs have changed since.
Oh, yeah, they definitely grew the beard, to use the old Star Trek saying.
Star Trek saying? I would think grew the beard would be like in reference to the mirror universe.
No, it's more of a reference to when Jonathan Frakes grew out a beard.
Ah.
You know, the first two seasons he was clean shaven, and those were usually not the greatest, to say the least. But when he, came back with a beard, that was coincided with when the writing started to improve a bit. So that kind of that expression fell into the lexicon. The show grew the beard means it got better with time.
I get you. That makes sense. Of course, I do fondly remember Riker saying, "I got tired of everyone calling me babyface."
Then he shaved it off in a movie that was pretty terrible. So maybe correlation and causation do match up for a change.
That'd be something. Just keep the beard.
Yep.
Another promo for Star Trek Picard comes out. Riker doesn't have a beard. Look out! Run for your lives! I can't use my usual klaxon because the sound machine is still crowding out on me. Oh, so sad.
I cannot do it, Captain. She does not have the power.
I've opened the warp engines.
On behalf of everyone for that terrible impression and accent.
Oh, come now. There have been far, far worse. Usually by me.
Yeah, true.
Let's see here.
Let's see.
Yep, Matt is confirming there have been worse impressions.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So there have been.
let's see here. Street Curioso points out the reason Sparky's fire is magical. In G4, Spike is able to send letters to and from the princess thanks to Twilight magic, helping him hatch, where her hopes are to be like her. Sparky hatched with the spark of Earth Pony magic, and the boosted magic is why his powers are way more out there. Interesting idea.
Interesting theory.
I'm most curious to what his egg was doing there on the beach. I mean, clearly...
Get a tan.
No, he needs to get more out of the shade then. But I mean, like, there wasn't a wandering dragon last I checked.
Sounds like a really bad song. A wandering dragon, It's not easy to rhyme with dragon. Flagon? Wagon? You're kind of out.
Baggin? Taggin? See here. Prolagin? Nope. But at least it's better than orange.
You know, I heard there is a word that rhymes with it, but I can't remember what it was.
It's probably in a foreign language or some such.
It could be.
I will not accept door hinge as a rhyme, because you have to change the cadence of door hinge to make it work. I don't know of anyone who intentionally says it as door hinge. You hear anyone try to talk like that? It's like, you are not talking to me honestly, sir. I will have you speak in your native dialect or not at all.
He says while putting on an English accent of sorts.
Oh, and now I'm about to cough. Oh, this is what I get for doing the English wrong. Pardon me, please. Let's see here. Oh, we have welcome, Enya. Glad to have you here. Also, I see Xander joined us at a point, and Kinisu of Dragons, who has door henge. No, I'm sorry, henge. I don't even know what a henge is. We're talking
Stonehenge.
But
like Storehenge, Stonehenge, the door to Stonehenge.
I get, but then, like, now I just want to know what a henge is. I don't even know why it's called Stonehenge. I mean, the stone part's rather obvious. But the henging? I don't even know what that means. Well, let's see here. Enderpup says it's more of a hedge. Well, you can hedge your bets, I guess. But yes, now...
Is that one not even worthy of a rim shot?
No, if you feel it is.
It wasn't.
Well, too late. It has been gifted. Merry Christmas early.
Uh-huh. So should we... Do you want to go over anything, or shall we go to questions from the chat, or
let's see
the
here.
mysteries of the universe?
I still need to find out what the henge and Stonehenge means, but how was your Thanksgiving? I very much like to know.
It was fine. It's pretty simple. I live with my parents. They invite, a friend or two of my mother's. We didn't have turkey. We had chicken. And, yeah, I'm not a big Thanksgiving eater. I just like cornbread, mashed potatoes, bit of chicken, and I'm kind of set.
There you go.
Yep.
All
So
right.
I do kind of like it to be more low-key. We used to do the whole big thing, going over to my uncle's, who's a bit of a, let's be nice and say, character. And we kind of started doing that a few years ago, and yeah, I'm not really complaining that we don't. I can't deal with like tons of people for hours at a time.
I get you.
Present company accepted.
Oh, believe me, I can't deal with me for hours at a time. That's why I go to sleep.
But yeah, I'm not a super holiday person. Yeah, I'm just kind of grateful that the holiday exists and provides a little bit of a buffer before the Christmas music takes over everything and everywhere.
Ah, yes.
Not that it does a good job at being a buffer, since half the time people ignore it anyway. So, yeah.
Actually, quick side note, Battleship Agincourt has very emphatically signaled me. Henge is described as a circular area. So, thank you, Battleship. I see your message. I also see Quinn Hook, who has just subbed. Thanks very much. I'm glad you enjoy MLP. But you're making me think of last year. Shortly after Thanksgiving, I went to get a COVID boost. Human malware. And they said, wait 10 minutes. We want to make sure you don't have a bad reaction. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I can wait. But then Fred Astaire comes on saying it's the most wonderful time of the year, and it's November 28th. And I'm like, nope. I don't have to drive away, but I don't have to sit here and listen to this either. So I just went to the parking lot and sat in my car for 10 minutes. Was like, okay, I'm doing fine. Off I go. I wasn't ready. Was not ready for Fred Astaire. Not yet.
Nope.
Don't get me wrong. He's angelic voice, but really now. It wasn't even December.
Yeah, no. I live in, like I said, suburban town. I see signs, keep who in Christmas. I'm like, if you do that, can you keep Christmas out of everything else, please? Because it's just like every year it comes earlier. My parents were just, saying last night, around the time of Halloween, they saw Christmas decorations going up in stores, and it's like, we can't deal. We just can't. It's just too much.
It's too much. We can't do it. You don't have the power. See, there's a worse impression.
Yep.
Mad Munchkin's probably punching her computer. Stop it, Silver! But honestly, I am rather proud that today I went nowhere. I have not partaken of the Black Friday. That is not meant to denounce anyone who got some good deals or got started on the shopping. But for me, I'm not part of that scene. Not part of the Black Friday scene.
Yeah, no. Maybe some online stuff, but otherwise, just nah. And Maddie says, I refer you to my drawing of the Doom flags embedded in the pigeon's skull.
Yes.
I think that's her saying that she loved you impression.
Or that, well,
it could be misleading.
Well, that's just certainly got to the point. Oh, you laughed. I heard it. I heard that sticker. You tried to contain it, but it escaped you.
Okay.
Oh, meanwhile, Vulpecchia Enfield has bequeathed me a boot to the head. And one for Jenny and the Wimp. Oh, I love that skit. It's even better if you have the Phoenix Wrong video playing. In fact, let me see if I can throw that in the chat for everybody. This is boot to the head, but acted out using Phoenix Wright characters. Obviously, I can't play it because I'd probably get copyright stricken. But I can at least provide a link to everyone here. Excellent. So my Thanksgiving was similarly easygoing. My family has been the walking wounded of late. My brother had a terrible flu, fever, debilitating. Last week, I was visiting him at my parents' place daily to walk his dog, Jack, who's just a wonderful bundle of energy. If I enter a house, Jack immediately heads to the backyard and searches frantically for a ball to play a game of fetch. He's the first dog we had that actually lets the ball go when you tell him.
What blasphemy is this?
I know, right? But then I caught, well, I guess it's a cold. I'm not really sure, but so I was sick, and my mom had some eye surgery done to correct a drooping eyebrow that was interfering with her sight. She's fine. Procedure went really well, but she's recovering. So my dad is, he's basically the only, quote, healthy one of the group, and he's looking out for all of us, so blessings on him. We had a nice waffle breakfast. Then my brother, who's feeling much better, went with his girlfriend and Jack to some other parties. I hung with my parents for the day. I got to go for a walk through the park with my dad, and I have a lot of good memories with that park. Just, it's got this trail, it goes by some horse pens and a creek. Used to walk our dogs all the time there. And the best part, and I'm hoping Maddie can confirm this with me, a Scottish time called the glowing, where as the setting sun lights everything golden, the tops of long grass or the waving tail of a dog in that light, it is always just gorgeous. And it's probably one of the best memories I have of times walking with my dad or with the dogs in the park is just the glowing. So I was very grateful to re-experience that. And to avoid stepping in horse poo. It's always the thing, that horse poo.
Always keeping it classy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, hey, there are horse pens, and there's a rink for people to practice riding, but them horses, they are beautiful, elegant creatures, but they make their presence known. Boy, howdy. So, let's see here.
So, what's on your plate for when you're, fully recovered?
Oh, that is the question for me. So much has happened in these last few weeks, and not all of it positive. The loss of both Kevin Conroy and Jason David Frank.
Yeah. That was a 1-2 blow. And I didn't even watch the show.
Well, you didn't watch Power Rangers or you didn't watch Batman?
Didn't really watch Power Rangers as a kid. Sometimes, but I mostly knew him through other people's stories about when Conroy's history of Power Rangers. Friends who've gone to conventions and just what a class act, great guy he always was. When Maddie says it's gloaming.
Gloaming. Okay,
Gloaming.
Gloaming. Oh. Well, I guess both my dad and I mispronounced that. Thank you for the correction, Maddie. But the gloaming is quite beautiful. Even if I get the words wrong, the feeling is just joyful. The gloaming.
Now I'm reminded of glomgolding. Combine the two.
With him, he'd probably drop it and trip over it or some such.
I do freaking love the new Glomgold from the 2017 series. He is just...
Yes. Hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
But,
yes.
with the loss of both Frank and Kevin Conroy, for Conroy, I wanted to give a tribute by reviewing Beware the Grey Ghost, an episode of Batman that also gives tribute to Adam West.
Yeah, my friends and I watched that the Sunday after we got the news. We did a bit of a Batman the Animated Series marathon tribute to Kevin Conroy. And that was like the first episode we picked. It's like, we got to do Grey Ghost.
There we go. And I'd like to do an episode review of Power Rangers to celebrate Jason David Frank, but that one's a little trickier for me. Power Rangers is, well, it's a bit like Adam West. It was campy of its own time, and yet so much fun.
Yeah.
High energy. I've seen, of course, Watch Mojo, and all those top 10 lists are counting his top moments. They often cite when the final quote episodes of the Green Ranger, and where Tommy sticks it to the villain Goldar unmorphed. And that was a great moment. I mean, it's that whole idea of the power does not define you, it's a tool. You are the Ranger. But I'm also thinking of talking about the phase of the third season where they introduced Kat, and Tommy White Ranger had to actually duke it out with Lord Zed briefly. And that was kind of a big deal because Zed never really took to the field.
He was there just to sit around, look awesome, yell, and give parents group something to complain about.
Oh, yes, they hated that he looked scary. I thought he was a pretty cool villain.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently so good that they brought him back. But I haven't seen I haven't seen the Dino Fury, or is it Dino Thunder? It's Dino something.
They kind of recycle the names. Jungle Fury, Dino Charge. There'll be a Jungle Charge sooner or later. It's kind of like a comic event. You gotta have like Secret in the name or Infinity in the name if you're Marvel. If you're DC, it's gotta have Crisis in the name. So it's gonna start blending together after a while.
Infinite Secret Crisis of multiple Marvels. There we go. I'll really confuse the comic industry.
I think it does a fine job of that on its own. But that would be a discussion for Hugh to take up because he could get into it a lot more than me.
Of course, then there's also just the young adult Maze Runner 2, the Divergent Hunger Games Reloaded.
Yeah, this is why I stick to stories about dragons and ponies, folks. I like stuff that makes sense.
It's a true.
Yep.
Let's see here. Just checking, seeing if folks. So, I think I'm going to talk about that phase where the Rangers were actually on the back pedal for once, as Zed took the Falcon Zord, they took the Pink Ranger's power coin, they captured one of the Rangers' allies. Now, through it all, it was just to adapt to the Sentai they were trying to integrate, but it was a very clever way of doing so, and Tommy was very much at the forefront of trying to combat this wave. I guess the thing I like most about Power Rangers growing up, and this is where Frank, all the actors' contributions, it may have been over the top and campy, but it was also sort of a last hurrah of good versus evil storytelling before getting a little older and getting, a gray area. Villains who could be noble, heroes who were, anti-heroes or less than honorable. Power Rangers was sort of that last bit of foundation as I was growing up. So
there's something to that.
That's what I enjoy about it. Don't get me wrong, I still think it is campy as can be.
Yeah, all the things we love are silly from a certain point of view. Says the pony talking to the hippogriff.
That's
Zebra or whatever I am. But I like there's still shows that do good and evil. They just how to phrase it. Like, not to get into huge spoilers or talking about Andor, but I flippin' love the series because while it does show the, gradations of gray and dark and light, there's still, shadings within the gray of more dark and light, and some really heroic, noble things, and other things that are unsavory compromises that you have to do in the name of the greater good.
the greater good.
Phenomenal. Oop. Sorry, say something.
Hi, just making sure I didn't miss my cue for the greater good.
Ah, yes. Yeah, it's internet law to, say that. Should have realized.
Well, my bad. I'm bringing in tropes, but that's good to hear.
You ever?
I'd
But
like
yeah,
to.
But yeah, there's like one or two speeches from Andor that I'm sure will go down in like geek culture because they are really amazing speeches, both in terms of acting and writing and music and delivery and all that. They'll make their rounds in due time, I'm sure.
Good. Well, then I'll just have to. Catch up on Andor then.
Yep. Andor.
And-
Not to be confused with the Forest Moon with the Ewoks. Though, yeah, Star Wars names are a little bit running together a bit after a certain point, too.
Well, I mean, there's only so many times you can figure out how to get them onto Tatooine.
Yeah. I can't help but remember SF Debris' little quip. Now the movie takes us back to Tatooine, which appears in every Star Wars movie except for Empire, a.k.a. the best Star Wars movie.
Coincidence? I think not.
Yep. Just saying, no Tatooine in Andor.
Well, there we go. Maybe Tatooine is the kiss of death.
Yeah. I mean, it does have sand, and you know the thing about sand?
It's near beaches.
It's not worse than the homage I was going with that I wasn't actually going to say because I have some dignity.
Yes, I figure. Although I do remember the Nostalgia Critic when they were talking about Rogue One. Why is Lord Vader not down here? Hello, sand? Oh, right.
Some lines are that infamous.
Although, now, you might say, there was no Tatooine in The Force Awakens. But come on, Jakku is just a fresh coat of paint on Tatooine.
Yep, they just put out one of the suns, and it's the same thing. Yep.
That's pretty much nowhere.
Yep. So, let's see. Questions from the chat. Questions. Who's got the questions?
But I confess, I have this impatience in me right now. I want to get back to this cold. It really killed the creative drive. It's like you feel like you have energy, but you don't want to do anything. And it's not procrastination. Yeah. It's just the body saying, nope, take it slow. And I got to honor that. But at the same time, there's part of me that's going, come on, I haven't done anything all day.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Whee!
Yeah. So, let's see, what videos are you working on? I mean, you've got, she's all yak. You've got, what else is in the queue?
Oh, Datsura69 is now following. Thank you, Datsura. Let's see here. What else is in the queue? Well, I wish I could say I actually had a queue. I mean, sometimes it's adaptive. So she's all yak. I'd love to take a look at, well, Sparky versus the child from The Mandalorian. You know, the baby Yoda.
Yes, Kurogo.
One charmed a fandom, and as we've talked about, another is less well received. And I'm going to add Flurry Heart into the mix. I'm trying to trace what is the key difference in how these characters are presented. I think mostly it has to do with the competency or the incompetency they inspire in the other characters. Like the Mandalorian, he still remains a badass. But when he lets his defenses down, it feels genuine. When Hitch just becomes a panic house of, oh my God, where's Sparky? I don't know, where's Sparky? Find Sparky. Then you just kind of roll your eyes because he's supposed to be this pillar of the community and he's just flipping out.
Yeah, that's just kind of a general complaint I have with most baby characters and things. It's like, oh no, it's there so we can have adult characters panicking because the baby is crying or making a mess or doing the things babies do. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's really thrilling. I mean, you can tell with, what was the episode? Baby Cakes? Like, half the reason they made Powder and Pumpkin a unicorn and Pegasi was because, just to make it more interesting. Because otherwise, it would get kind of old.
Yeah, Pinky would be able to just handle it normal baby things. But, it depends. One, I need to watch The Mandalorian in full so I can fully appreciate the relationship. Also, a while back, it's funny that, I guess because we're on a Star Wars kick, Anthony C. raised the question of why, Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, the princess, who I believe is also named Nausicaa, why is she not considered a Mary Sue while Rey is? Now,
I haven't seen that Ghibli film, so I can't actually offer comment.
Oh, well, I found it a fascinating question because when I really thought about it, there are a lot of parallels between Nausicaa and Rey. But it comes down to the impact they have on other characters. Oh, Chris! We have a Chris in the chat.
Yay! Hello, Crazy. How's my favorite Norwegian?
And let's see here. Shocker27 is trying to ask a question.
Right. They're curious about Kalani's design there. And yeah, he's kind of a zebra Pegasus. Zegasus?
I'll accept it.
Yep.
Subspecies confirmed.
Yeah, I was just kind of interested because, what was it? Remember that one episode with, when Starlight was a dink and sold Trixie's cart without her permission.
Oh,
and
yes.
Starlight kind of does. She's kind of a dink. I like her, but yeah, she does do things like that. That is like...
Dinkage did occur.
Yep. And so we had that, I want to say, Arabian horse. They called him Who Fought on the script, which is just, okay. And he was a unicorn, and we hadn't seen, those Arabian horses in anything but, standard or funny design. So I was thinking, well, ponies in real life don't exactly have horns or wings. So do the other equine species have that same variety? Could we get a donkey with wings or a horse with a horn? So what about zebras then?
And so you made it.
Yes.
Excellent.
With a lot of assistance from people who actually know how to do things like color balance, where to draw the eye with the design and things that people like artists know and I do not.
Oh, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, well, it is. No, it's just a thing that I've noticed. In a lot of episodes of Pony, they really come down on the side of the artist whenever the artist has a conflict with either the client or the customer or the critic. The artist is almost always going to be right, and I'm like, I don't know. there's a bit of a feedback, or there should be, between like artist and patron to say, this is what you want to do, but here's how to do that better than what you originally pitched. There should be a bit of a back and forth, not some, Ayn Rand style rant about the sacrosanct of the vision of the artist or whatever.
Yes.
That's just my spiel.
Well, I remember Rarity in Suited for Success. I think everyone could identify with the demands of clients. But then, yeah, it's also true. What the saying is, the customer's always right in matters of style. But somehow that last bit always gets nicked off.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember feeling a little bit cheap when Fluttershy was building that sanctuary of hers, and she drew it in crayon, and it's like, nope. Nope, my vision is correct. All the people who actually know what they're doing when building it, who admittedly did, totally blow her off and ignore her desires, but, she didn't exactly come off as someone who sounded like she really knew what she was doing either, so that episode just kind of bugged me.
Yeah, everyone was sort of introduced to fail.
Yep. I mean, it doesn't help when your design is in crayon. I mean, that's like begging for a clip from Rocket Raccoon just laughing his tail off, because that's not a plan.
That's barely a percentage of a plan.
Barely a concept. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that actually reminds me now, I need to see how people like the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
I actually just finished watching that before the stream, and it is...
Oh,
it had me laughing out loud, so...
Good.
Thank you, James Gunn. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good. As far as I know, they describe it as the brainchild of a madman brought to life.
That's everything James Gunn does, to be fair. I mean...
I ain't complaining.
Suicide Squad, Peacemaker. God, that was a lot of fun. But yes. And, here's an interesting question from Enderpup. What was your favorite Christmas gift? Well, I kind of get a pass because I don't celebrate. So, you take it.
Like, my favorite Christmas gift of all time?
I guess.
That's a hard one. I mean... Jeez. I mean, I want it to be super dramatic and full of love. I will say one year my parents got my brother and I a Sega for Christmas, which was Sega. Really something. I mean, in the days where everyone was like, you have to choose a side, PlayStation wasn't even on the scene. Nintendo or Sega, we got to be bipartisan. But let's see, the best Christmas gift. Well, I mean, I still remember how much I laughed when I opened a bag and saw those pins you and Q and Sky and the others designed and shipped to me. That was fantastic.
Yep.
That was a magnificent gift.
Yep. Well, that was me. That was Chris. That was Maddie and other folks.
Yee. So
Q and Sweetie.
Y'all got me good there.
Yay.
So those are good memories. I mean, mostly it's time. It really is time with people. I will always appreciate a fun gift, but it's the fact that it was given by a person close to me that really makes it special. I don't know if I sound like a holiday special there myself, but there you go.
There's holiday specials, and then there's, you don't sound like the other holiday special. The infamous one.
The infamous one. Oh, it's not the end, friend. If you're a friend. You should end this song.
That was the best segment in that thing.
Soon we shall crush Bearthur.
The best Bearthur.
And the journey towards the dark side will be complete.
And no, we were talking about the Star Wars Holiday Special for folks who weren't catching on.
Oh, believe me, if you've not seen the Star Wars Holiday Special, don't worry, you haven't missed anything. Although I will say, I've heard that there's only one official recording of it, and it was
Carrie Fisher's.
Yes, and I don't know what has become of it now that she's no longer with us.
No. Yeah, I saw someone talking about that. Might have been on Twitter or something. You know, if Disney ever planned to like re-release that, and someone else was saying, no, given George Lucas's hatred of the thing, it's probable that there aren't any masters left. He probably destroyed them. So there's only so much they can probably do to like remaster or recreate, or however that works.
Howsoever.
Yeah. Oh well. Some things should be preserved for cultural history and legacy. Some things, yeah. I mean, there are some lost episodes out there that should probably have stayed lost. But
Well, don't say that to a Doctor Who fan. Their hopes shine across time. Although Ranch Hog has questions, what happened to Hearthswarming? Why is it Winter Wish Day? Well, I imagine they had to redefine the holiday, given that it was no longer about unity between the three tribes.
yeah, ugh, I'm so tempted to make a comment that is a bit politically charged, but I'll bypass. But yeah, it probably would be a little bit awkward for them to say, let's celebrate this holiday about those other two guys that we don't ever want to be around.
So,
Yeah, probably needed a bit of a rebranding under the new regime.
So they made it a wish day. And hey, I mean, given enough time, celebrations change. The solstice became somehow Jesus' birthday. I mean, that's just, it's how we associate
Every holiday
it.
got it started something else.
Yep. Oh, boy, the history of Valentine's Day. Woohoo! I don't know if you know that legend, but boy, howdy, that was a bit more hardcore than I was willing to go.
Yeah. If you look up the history of anything, it is horrifying. That's kind of the thing about history.
Though that just makes me want to watch Discworld and the Hogfather.
Oh yeah, that was great. You know,
I wonder
not
if,
many holidays were improved by the presence of death, but that's one of them.
well, when death...
I'm sure that will never be taken out of context.
Oh, no, never. Never, ever. On the internet? Surely you jest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just remembering the Hogfather. I don't want to give too much away because I hope Netflix still has this on their site. But Discworld's holidays are actually pretty fun to consider. I always love the speech at the end. Grind up the universe and run it through the finest sieve and show me one atom of kindness, one molecule of mercy. And yet, despite this very seemingly pessimistic, it actually is an endorsement of belief. If you believe in the little lies, you can make them real. If you believe in something, it becomes real.
Right.
And that means...
If you want...
Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just pulled up. If you want the full quote, just because...
Please do.
You know, it's just great writing.
Yes.
So let's see. All right, I'm not stupid. You're saying that humans need fantasies to make life bearable. No. Humans need fantasy to be human. To be the place where the falling angel meets the rising ape. With tooth fairies? Hogfathers? Yes. As practice, you have to start out learning to believe the little lies. So we can believe the big ones? Yes. Justice, mercy, duty, that sort of thing. They're not the same at all. You think so? Then take the universe and grind it down to its finest powder and sieve it through the finest sieve, and then show me one atom of justice, one molecule of mercy. And yet, you try to act as if there is some ideal order in the world, as if there is some rightness in the universe by which it may be judged. But people have got to believe that, or what's the point? You need to believe in things that aren't true. How else can they become? I really love the words of Terry Pratchett. He's a fantastic writer.
So, also an artist we miss. But, yeah, I love that speech. I love what it means. It also, it does say something about why we believe as we do. So, yeah, now I definitely want to watch The Hogfather again. With the villain, Mr. Tiatame.
Yeah. I'd also recommend, if you ever have a good chunk of time, and as if your list of to watch things wasn't already a mile long, there's an animated adaptation of The Weird Sisters on YouTube. The full thing. I don't know how they do it. It's like 2 hours long, but it's a pretty faithful adaptation of the book. The animation isn't the greatest or anything, but it's really the characters and the writing that sold me on. That's the first Discworld thing I ever saw, and that's why I got into the books.
Nice.
Yep.
Now that we're talking about it, I'm surprised Hollywood hasn't tried to do more with the Discworld franchise. You could do a lot with that.
Potentially, I guess it would also depend on what Julia Pratchett, wants to have done with it. Because, they did some mini-series with the BBC, but, that's a hard thing to really adapt to movies. Like, they did The Hitchhiker's Guide. Douglas Adams has a very similar style to Terry Pratchett.
Yeah, they tried.
It's hard because they have a lot of the humor comes from, like, the narration, and it's very dry and very funny. And that's kind of hard to really adapt to a movie, because movies don't really do narration nowadays. So either you lose a lot of it, or you kind of shoehorn it in, and it feels kind of weird. Yep.
Let's see here. Oh, Maddie has the DVDs of Discworld. And they did make Color of Magic and Light fantastic. Oh-ho. See, I've not gotten to see these, Maddie. Oh, yeah, what are the funnest... Yeah. Oh, sorry?
Oh, sorry. They did a few specials. They did Going Postal. They did Hogfather. I only know those from the fact that SF Debris did reviews of them.
Same here.
Yeah.
But I just trying to recall. One of the funnest parts of Cider Fest was discovering Maddie and I both had an affinity for The Young Ones, a British sitcom of hugely irreverent humor.
I recall. I remember thinking it sounded Lovecraftian. Oh, it's about British youth. Oh, so it's really evil.
Oh, yeah. I hate the good place. It's so darn happy. So yeah, we were quoting it with one another. That was a highlight for me. Yes, we've got a live stream, Maddie. I'm completely sick of this. And then, of all things, I learned that the quote I just did was from an episode featuring Stephen Fry, who is a remarkable writer, comedian, philosopher, and public speaker.
Also that one doofus from Blackadder.
So I would just love the fact that I was encountering cultural heroes at a young age. I didn't even realize it. I mean, I was watching The Young Ones in my teenage years, and they had already been well off before then. It's one of the few things older than me.
Well, that and Dinosaur Bones, a little bit.
Just for a bit.
But actually, now that you mention it, it's always interesting trying to figure out what kids have on their radar. Because, I know a bunch of references to TV shows I've never seen because, they were referenced in like the stuff I watched as a kid. And some of the stuff I watched as a kid were things that skewed a little bit more adult. Like when I was a kid, I saw so many things that flew over my head, like jokes, and I loved watching Godzilla movies, Marx Brothers movies, Jim Henson products, and oh boy, watching those again later, it's like all the jokes I just missed as a kid. I'm like, wow, they really did that. And now, yeah, so that's just another interesting thing. So I used to watch when I was in elementary school, like Star Trek and Godzilla and Marx Brothers, and now that I'm in my 30s, I'm watching My Little Pony and Transformers, and I'm like, wait, did I do this backwards?
Possibly.
Maybe I'm Benjamin Button. Who knows?
Because they give worse fates.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, at some point, I hope people realize you look.
C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis.
You're gonna bust that with Lewis. Yep, you're gonna bust that out. I could just tell.
Well, I won't use the full quote, but more I think of the book Ishmael, which you may not have read. It's not based on Moby Dick, actually. But it talks about mother culture. That parent we all have that no one is truly aware of, who whispers in our ear every day and tells us how we're supposed to be. The parent we all have that never know. And it is kind of true. You look down one day and you realize that you've been holding a script and trying to live your life according to that script, but then you never figure out where did it come from, who made it, why is that the rule. And yes, and then that leads to, as you say, C.S. Lewis, when I became a boy, I put away childish things, including the need to feel like an adult and act very grown up.
Yep.
I do love that quote. I do love that quote.
Hello, sweetie.
Oh, Sweetie Bloom. It's good to see you, Sweetie Bloom.
Hello. Hope you had a happy Turkey Day. I'm just having a day with a turkey. Sounds similar, slight difference.
But we'll see which one is more bearable. But, well, we're all in a bit of recovery mode as we're all getting over colds. Sweetie, I hope your health has been holding up okay through all this.
Yep. Oh, she's at the airport. Yeesh. I think I'd rather have a cold.
Well, I mean, airports, even before the concerns of human malware, airports were human petri dishes.
Yeah, airports are just, I don't know what it is about them. I mean, that's a lie, I kind of do, but there's always just, like, tension or pressure when you're there. Even if you're, like, ahead of time, it just always gets to me.
Oh, yes, everybody wants you to keep going, get faster. Clear the way. Even if you've got time and can take it easy, the person behind you could be late for their flight, so get out of the way. Although, I'm trying to recall any interesting airline. Yeah, I don't really have any. I mean, it is... Oh, yes. Going through... on a trip with my family, we went through the Munich airport. And it was so quiet. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. I don't know. The German travelers were like so focused or efficient. They were so quiet. Nothing was happening. And I just thought, oh, this is actually a little eerie. I'm not used to this. It was a bit of culture shock in its finest form. Let's see here.
And Sweetie actually has a cold at the airport, so...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then you're getting the double barrels. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, oddly, my friend Cruelica had the cold last week, and Kaiju no Kami, he had the flu. So everybody I know seems to be down with something. Except for my dad, and I'm totally on standby to back him up if he needs me. Because he done a lot. A lot. But here you go. These tattered remains. Let's take a quick gander at how we're coming along. Well, I've got a pretty decent wall with some holes in it.
It now just has a slightly better view.
Exactly. You get better airflow in these ruins.
Mm-hmm. Open it up, it improves the feng shui. Which I'm not sure if that's different than je ne sais quoi. I have no idea what any of that I just said is, but...
Well, je ne sais quoi is just a certain something. It's more personality than living space, I think. And feng shui, well, there is an actual discipline to it, but it's been co-opted, I think. Whoops. Here we go. But sweetie, I hope you have a speedy recovery and can take it easy on yourself once you get home.
Agreed.
Need these banners at some point, I'm sure, in the future.
Oh, that is my favorite line from that episode. Or maybe it's just Tabitha's delivery. What? I just wanted to restore ancient art. She always gave Rarely such charm in her drama.
Oh, yes. A rare thing. I'm not sure there were many actresses who could do that.
Yeah, no, she was a gem. Yes.
Is Jim, wish her great success with whatever is coming next.
Yeah. It is fun just seeing, like, all the other things that, the MLP team is involved in. Like, Ellen Ray was a character in the Make Your Wish, Make Your Mark, Wish in Time, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Executive producer Nicole Dubik is the voice of a female Skywarp in the new Transformers thing, Earthshock.
Mm-hmm.
Check that out. Nicole Oliver is the voice of Queen Zubeia, a sky dragon in The Dragon Prince. And I'm like, I don't know how to get typecast as a royal associated with the sky and mythical creatures, but, it's time to bust out the Doofenshmirtz. If I had a nickel for every time Nicole Oliver played, a royal sky creature, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened 2 times.
So there you go.
Yep.
Let's see.
It was one of the fun stories from Ciderfest. The actors and actresses, they're great sports about the characters. I was picking up autographs for one guy, and he just wanted like a certain line written out rather. And I was pulling it up, and writing down in notes, and I'm like, that line of dialogue seems off. Oh, there's a word missing. And then I handed it to her, and she's like, oh, I didn't use this word in the script. Like, okay, I believe you. I go back to check the transcript. She was right. The word was missing. It arguably made the sentence make less sense, but that's exactly how it was in the episode. And it's like, good on her for remembering that, because I probably wouldn't remember something like that. For those curious, it was Kelly Metzger, a.k.a. Spitfire. She has the line, won't be easy, doing tricks when you're in a wing and full body cast, drinking through a straw. And I was thinking, oh, shouldn't it be drinking meals through a straw because you drink through a straw normally? But no, apparently the line didn't have meal in it. So, I don't know. She remembered, and that's what we went with.
Good honor.
Yep. And Mariska, oh, I'm gonna butcher her name. Hendrik, the voice of Gilda and Sonata. It was. She wanted one of Sonata's lines, and it was just like her agent or her manager had just a list of some of her lines, and it was like, yeah, that was the one that this guy wanted to have her write. It's like, yeah, they know. They know their lines.
They know.
And Sweetie's gotten started. Late start, but she ain't wasting time.
No, the assault of generosity begins. Batten down the hatches. Sweetie, you could use that money to get yourself some cold medicine. Don't misallocate. I tell you, I don't know how it is for everyone else, but like getting medicine for a cold is more complicated than it used to be, just because so many places are understaffed. After dropping off a friend to get her car serviced, I swung by a Walgreens, and it looked like it had been looted. There were empty aisles up and down, and I couldn't imagine what was going on. They had boxes. I think the store was in the process of closing, and I could barely find any NyQuil. It's like, how am I supposed to get better if nobody's selling me what I need? Now I sound like an actual druggie. Yo, man, I got your NyQuil right here. I got the good Pepto-Bismol. They'll sell you good. See, if that becomes the state of U.S. healthcare, then we're in trouble.
Trying not to make obvious comment.
Well, you could try, but the comments, they always get you. Gonna get you.
Yeah. So, let's see. Have you saved?
Yes. Very recently.
Good on you. Okie dokes.
So yes, so the lessons are being learned. I am hearing you all. Oh, Flitter Chris would like to know if we're both planning to go to BabsCon. I am very much.
I am likely going to Babs. I'm trying to get in touch with some family friends who live in San Francisco to see if I can meet up with them, maybe shave some costs off my travel. But if that doesn't work out, then, definitely Everfree then. I was thinking of HarmonyCon, but decided ultimately to pass for reasons.
Yes, sadly, I'm not going to be able to make it to HarmonyCon this year myself. I do want to get to BabsCon, and Everfree is, well, probably the biggest deal of the conventions after BronyCon. I still marvel at how well-timed closing BronyCon was. I mean, they couldn't have known, and yet, if it had to end, that was the time to do it.
Better go out with a bang than a whimper.
Or to have out everyone just sort of wondering, what are we going to do in the midst of this human malware?
So assertive, sweetie.
Let's see. Also, I see Master Codis analyst in the chat. Good to see you.
Hello.
Oh, yes. There are threats of kidnapping. You know who we really need to kidnap to Everfree would be Anthony C. If we can train some crack commandos to get on down to Australia and exfil him to Seattle. Triner, you're on the bloody stream. You don't need to donate.
Don't I, though?
Well, I should think not. You're here on the stream. You don't need to donate to your own stream. I mean, that's just... Whoa, you're going metasexual on me here. Metafoo.
So to backpedal through about 20 different tangents. So...
Welcome to my stream.
For you. So, She's All Yak, tribute videos for Kevin Conroy and Jason David Frank. What else is on your plate?
Talking about the character differences of Ray versus... Well, Sparky versus the... Grogu?
Nope. Yep, no N.
No N. Grogu.
Yes.
And, but also Ray versus Nausicaa.
Wow. Taking a lot on that plate.
Yeah, it's a full plate. It kind of resembles my Thanksgiving plate, in fact. Which, by the way, my dinner tonight will be leftovers. I expect to be in a turkey coma by 9 o'clock.
So, wouldn't that just be for you a coma?
It'll be only after I've gobbled things up.
Boy.
And Yo Komodo Steel, I can dig it. Also, another assault for the studio. And Chris, you're getting on this Pretty Birdie, Princess Pony, and Best Flying Zebra. Hope you both are staying safe. And, hugs. Oh, thank you, Chris. We are sending you the hugs.
I can feel my spine twinging already from the Chris hugs.
They are wonderfully powerful hugs. Although I feel somewhat wrong for me to think of the Emperor speech-to-text device and the hugs therein.
Oh, yes. Hey, yep. Yeah, she is very... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that right after I met her. I did or maybe I did in connection with Sweetie Bloom. I put their names over Magnus and Vulcan getting hugged.
Yep. I can feel the happiness crushing my spine!
He didn't even have a spine.
F you, Lehman Russ! That's about it.
I love that you got into that probably around the same time that I did. My friends at the last BronyCon, they just sat me down and said, "You're watching this." I'm like, okay. And then I did, and I got hooked.
Yep, it hooked, and then Games Workshop went insane. Started attacking its own fans.
Yeah.
I mean,
that works.
Cutting off your nose to spite your face in the truest sense.
Let's see. Oh, yes, sweetie, I did. I made the mistake of saying that her hug wasn't as spine-shattering as Chris's. So she lifted me up, and then my back really did hurt.
It's like, we do not challenge the sweetie's honor.
Nope, we do not. Sorry.
Otherwise, it just becomes backbreaking.
I don't know if that counts as really a pun. That's just kind of more descriptive.
Well, maybe it was just misaligned.
Go to all of the...
There we go. Oh, William Guinness, a happy belated Thanksgiving to you as well. But now there's talk about crowns. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that crowns have not been a thing at more vendor hall spaces. You'd think with the crown thingy, MLP, you'd want those. Crowns galore.
We actually haven't seen many crowns in G5, just Queen Haven's thing. And, yeah, we really haven't seen Pip or Zip wearing anything now that you mention it.
Well, I can understand.
complain.
No, I'm not complaining either. It's kind of funny. I mean, like Pip will wear it if it's in style or part of her media empire. But Zip, I can understand that she would avoid the crown at all costs. It will be interesting when she does finally accept the role. And I guess I don't want her to dodge out of that. I really do want her to accept being the queen.
She doesn't seem to be dodging it. She just doesn't seem to be like going out of her way to have it happen before it does. It's like, I know this is going to happen. I just don't need to do it now.
Why struggle against the inevitable?
Well, that's kind of what life is, isn't it?
Depends.
Wow, that was a bit darker than I intended. Wow. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is weird what things will and will not end up in a vendor hall. Like, something I was noting at the pin panel, you would be surprised of the characters who've never been made into, like, products of. Like, do you see a lot of products of just the pillars? Because I really don't.
Outside of buttons, no. They've never been given that status.
Yeah, no, I've seen stuff. There's a fair amount of stuff with the Student 6, and they came in a season later with a bit more of a backlash against, if not them, then the school concept, which I get. But yeah, there's been like no much of the pillars themselves, or at least comparatively less.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah, I guess it's a matter of just what they think what people think will sell or not. Something that's continually irked me for about over a decade now. There have been pins made of so many pony characters, ranging from the obscure to the fan-made. Like Fleur de Lis has a pin. Some Roseluck has a pin. Brayburn's never been made into a pin, and he was very popular season 1.
Brayburn? I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Huh.
I've been like nudging a couple of pin makers I know, no one's done this, I'm sure it'll be a big seller, hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, but hey, his time just hasn't come, I guess.
Well, I mean, I guess, is there as big a demand for Brayburn now? At one time, he was one of the few fleshed out character stallions. But even though we only got in for one episode.
And there's been more made of characters with less presence.
It's true. I'll tell you one guy who definitely has, I don't think I've ever seen any merch, is, the pony who took over Mistmane's home.
Oh, right, that guy. The guy with the beard and the hair that is like a continual slope.
Yep. Don't think I've ever seen any merch of him. I can't even remember his name off the top of my head.
Yep. Yeah, I can't either.
Oh, well.
Nice guy, but yeah. Some characters just catch on in fandom, some don't. Like Misty with G5, everyone loves Misty.
Well, I feel they're rooting for her because she's the underdog. She's the Quasimodo in this scenario.
Yep. Oh, Cattail, someone recognized.
Cat.
The pony.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Brian Ludo wants a pin of Megan. There's the thing. But which Megan? We have actually 3 Megans from which to choose. There's the Rescue at Midnight Castle Megan. There's the My Little Pony the Movie Megan. And then there's the Equestria Girls cameo Megan. There's a lot of Megans.
Well, at least they're not Karens.
Oh, Chris is a Megan fan, it seems. See, I'd go with the Okay, Agincourt is for the Equestria Girls cameo Megan. I'm more for the Western Rescue of Midnight Castle Megan. Brian Luna agrees.
Let's see what else. Got any questions for me or me for you? Oh wait, how would you know if I have questions for you?
You would ask them. I hope.
You would think so.
Well, do you have any big plans for this Christmas season, even if you don't celebrate?
Not too much. I promised my mother I'd take her to. There's some museum or art gallery she's interested in looking at down in Brooklyn. I forget what it is exactly. Let's see, got that coming up. Don't exactly have a lot of holiday plans around December. And I've already sent you, me and Sweetie and Q already gave you yours back at Everfree, since we were all there.
Yes.
So.
Didn't throw in the towel there.
And, okay, wow, Sweetie. Working Christmas Eve Day and Boxing Day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Sweetie, please tell me that you're going to take at least a little time for yourself. Now, on the topic of art, though, I need to check sometimes here in Denver, but there is an immersive Monet exhibit making its way around the country. And I would encourage all of you, I got to check out an immersive Van Gogh, and it was a really beautiful experience. Couldn't recommend it more. All right.
So, did you smear the mashed potato on you yourself, or how immersive was it?
Well, thankfully, I didn't have to smear any potatoes. It's all projected on a wall, so I guess they do the protester's job for them.
Convenient.
But they're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, I could name bigger ones, but it is.
There are bigger idiots, but at the same time, you want to raise awareness for the environment. Don't do so by destroying or defacing classic art pieces. That's not going to win people over. But regardless, if you can find immersive Monet, give a search, give a look. It is quite wonderful.
Be sure to check that out. She's big into art. And let's see. Sorry, I had a thought. Anything you're looking forward to doing? Any movies, shows? And no, that's not a hint for you to watch the things I want you to watch. I'm just saying in general. Is there anything upcoming that you're excited for?
You know, what is it? There's some Santa Claus beats up home invaders movie.
Violent Night.
That's it, Violent Night. It looks ridiculous. It looks horrible. I want to see it.
Yeah, that looked awful. I saw that in the previews when I was going to see Wakanda Forever. And my mother was like, I don't get why people like horror movies. I'm like, that's not horror movie. That's just... I'm blanking on the term. It's just...
Beat 'em up.
It's just kind of like cringe, stupid, like that
80s
violent Winnie the Pooh movie that they're talking of making.
Oh yes,
I don't want to classify that as horror. It's
not horror. Right? It's just silly fun, but with an emphasis towards violence. Which could describe some of my videos in a nutshell. Oh well. But yeah, that's really, I don't know if many, I know that people are trying to do very spirited versions. There was an earlier question of what did I think was the best, the Grinch Stole Christmas adaptation. And I would have to go with the animated.
There's actually two animated, though I'm assuming you're going with the classic Chuck Jones
Yes, indeed.
1 minute one.
I
Yeah, there was a CGI one from like 2018 or something.
Oh, well, good for that. I haven't seen it. And Jim Carrey, I'm not saying it wasn't fun to see, but I just like the original Chuck Jones the most. Please and thank you.
Yes, I can bet.
Oh, and we have a Lightning Bliss.
Hello, Miss Bliss.
Oh, and the question has come up, what is Boxing Day? As I understand it, the day after Christmas in England, the lords of a household would give gifts to their staff as a thank you for all their hard work. And they would use these little boxes. So it became known as Boxing Day. And eventually it I guess it evolved over time of sort of swapping roles for a day. I'm sure folks will fact check me on this. But hola, it is good to see the Blissiboo. Last I got to chat with her was on Chris's chill and chat as I tried to talk to her from across the computer. Oh, Blissy. But I don't know. I believe, actually, Bliss, I think you were fighting a cold yourself at that time. Also happened.
I guess you're sharing it via computer now.
Well, why not? That website.
It's a virus.
It's a virus. There you go. Humans and computers, we all got to deal with viruses at some point. Oh, Bliss, you can be good at self-care and cleaning up, but viruses are going to get you. It's just a fact of life.
It's like driving. You can be the best driver in the world, but if there's some less than competent person swerving in the road, you being good isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's getting sick is not a failure on your part, is what I'm trying to say. It's just an unfortunate facet of the life.
I work in a public school. All the disease.
Yeah, it's like your immune system must be through the roof.
You would think I've gotten like 2 or 3 colds since the start of the school year. I don't know. It feels kind of like my immune system is actually a little worse because we were all wearing masks and going through all of that for like 2 or 3 years. So I got like no colds, no flus. And now that we're going back to maskless, it's hitting a lot worse than it did before. It's could be my imagination. But
can viruses get jealous? Oh, you're going to shut down the country for the other guy? I've been here for ages. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the common cold is feeling neglected.
Well, it doesn't like being referred to as common, now does it?
You dare refer to me as a common? I'm quite the uncommon cold, thank you very much.
Oh, boxing corgi. Very cute.
Oh. Oh, but geez, sweetie, you're not going to land at 4 a.m. like Battleship Agincourt is worried, are you? Because no, you should not have to get in that late or early.
It ain't fun. No.
No. Red eyes. Oh wait, red eyes are late night flights, yeah.
And not even a fun red eyes like a red eyes black dragon. No, it's just red eyes.
Yeah. Red eyes. Back when the Yu-Gi-Oh game could be kind of fun. Nowadays, I see videos every now and again of people playing the Yu-Gi-Oh online, and you burn half your deck in like one turn. The other guy hardly even gets to play.
Well, the sum total of my knowledge of Yu-Gi-Oh! Comes from the abridged series and the text-to-speech parodies. So I'm just going to nod my head like I know what you're talking about.
No. That's about the long and the short of it. They stick to the more fun time and the absurdity of it. Again, I guess I'm reflecting on Jason David Frank reminds me that, yeah, I've watched a lot of campy stuff. It's hard to explain the value in it, but there's something, the camp is a coating, but there's still something very positive behind it. It's just hard to see sometimes because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, I can see that.
But here we are. It is at the top of the hour, and I needs me some dinner and bedtime to kick the rest of this cold to the curb so I can get back to my full production-y self.
Yep, you do that. Tempted to make a joke about your production schedule and...
Its non-existence?
Well, I think the first time I met you in person, you had us do a recording of shouting Blackthorn.
Yeah, that kind of got lost to the ether.
Yep.
Well, but you know what? A funny thing is I still have that recording.
Nice.
It's there and waiting.
Yep.
But, Trinary, thanks for hanging with me and just catching up. It's always good to hear from you.
Oh, no, I'm just flattered that you asked me to be on this thing. I mean, usually you get people who do things like Sweetie or Lightning or Maddie.
Come on, you do things. You do a lot in this community, including now presenting panels.
Yeah, I mean, technically I did that before, but still. Usually I'm just here poking people saying, hey, you made that comment like 2 minutes ago. Stop that. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
It comes with the toif. But to everyone, I wish y'all just a great weekend and easy go. We're heading into the Christmas season, but we can still have some turkey and just take it slow, eh?
Yep.
So.
And take it easy with the holiday music for people who value their sanity.
Yes, please. Well, my sanity went away long ago, but even I can appreciate a little less of the holly jollies before it's time. But until then, everyone, just be safe and be well. I'm Silver-Quill. Thanks for watching.